back to my channel. I am genuinely surprised that this is a tutorial that I'm being asked for in 2022. Recently, I posted some photos to my Instagram and my Twitter accounts. It was basically because I was invited to my high school reunion recently, and I was just thinking about the way I used to look in high school. I used to do like this Dolly makeup style that was really popular in like J fashion communities back in the day. I went to high school from 2009 to 2013, so that was almost 10 years ago now. I found some pictures that were my profile pictures when I was in high school, and yeah, I genuinely used to go to school like that. And I saw that makeup style and I wanted to emulate it and do it over again. For some reason, people really liked it a lot. Those photos got like the most engagement that I've had in a very long time on Instagram. And not just engagement, but I had so many DMs from people asking me like, can you please do a tutorial on this style? I did not think in the year 2022 I would be doing makeup tutorials. This is not a makeup tutorial channel. I don't mind doing a tutorial because this is a look that I always used to really like. It's fun, so why not? It's a Sunday vlog for you guys, and yeah, so this is how I do my Dolly makeup. First of all, before doing anything, I mean anything, put your contact lenses in. These contacts do like 95% of the work before any of the makeup. I use contacts called circle lenses. The diameter of the circle lenses are like 3 times bigger than your regular contact lens. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a whole limbal ring around it that just make your eyes look more dramatically Dolly than they actually are. There we go. This is why I like to do it before I do any of my makeup, because my eyes always run. So as you can see already, there's a huge difference between my eyes. So this is the eye with the contact lens in it. This is the eye without. Do you see the difference? Look. Okay, so that's both of them in. There's a ton of sites where you can get these contact lenses from. I'm a cosplayer on my free time, so I'm pretty used to popping contacts in and out of my eyes. I'll link where I got these circle lenses in the description box. Okay, so now that our contact lenses are in, you can go ahead and do your moisturizer, whatever sunscreen you like to use as your base. I don't use anything fancy. Everybody's out here with these fancy schmancy sunscreens. I don't use any of that stuff. My skin is so insanely sensitive to everything. Like, the older I'm getting, the less I can use on my skin. I literally use this. This is like the sports sunscreen from Target. And it works just fine on my face. It's SPF 50 and I believe it's waterproof as well. It doesn't make me ashy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rub it into my skin. I just can't with all the oil-based moisturizers that are out on the market right now. Even the water-based ones make my skin feel super duper dry, and I really just don't like it. Okay, so that's my base. So I personally use 2 different concealers. Both of these concealers are actually from the beauty supply store, and you're probably looking at this one like, what in the world? This is like nowhere close to your shade. I'm gonna explain. This is the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and I use the shade Fawn. What's nice about these is that they have like a brush right on the tip of them. I'm gonna go directly under my eye. I'm just using my viewfinder, guys, to do this. I like to put my concealer on first so that it has some time to sit and settle into my skin. I don't know if it's like the new thing, but a lot of people don't do like full faces anymore. Like, I don't use as much foundation as I used to. I used to slather my face in foundation. I don't now. I kind of like spot treat it, so I'll put it here and there, but if my skin is genuinely smooth, I don't cake my face up. I like it to feel as light as possible. I'm just gonna go ahead. It's gonna look crazy before it looks good. Okay, let me just put that disclaimer out there. Moving on to this one. This is also the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is in the shade Fairest. I actually learned this trick from the girlies in the UK. This you do not just slap on the way I did the other one. It's like painting a portrait. I'm gonna put this in the corners of my eyes. And I'm gonna be blending it like a painting. Like, the key to this is blending. But what's the point of using this? Basically, it's just another tool to help your eyes open up and make them look even bigger in the end. Okay, so my face has looked crazy for long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and use my, my blending sponge. I'm just gonna go ahead and start. I personally do not wet the sponge. I know people like to drench and soak their sponges. I don't. I actually use it dry. I like for the sponge to kind of soak up the excess foundation and concealer that's on my skin. It just helps to make the overall result a lot lighter and less cakey, for me at least. I don't like it to be cakey. I like to feel like I can still touch my face after I do my makeup. So as you can see, the white is pretty much like blending into the rest of the concealer, and it's just making this area look really, really bright. And it's gonna blend even more when I get into the eye makeup. Okay, so you're probably wondering like, okay, you did the middle portion of your face, what about the sides of your face? Don't worry, we're gonna get into that too, don't worry. So there's two different foundations that I've been loving, and I recommend either one for those of you who like kind of like a BB cream kind of feel to your face and not exactly like a full foundation. The first one is this Sephora Best Skin Ever. Love this stuff. It's a buildable foundation, so you can add on to how much coverage you want, whether you want it to be very minimal or full-on drastic with like the contour and whatnot. I also really love, and I've always been very, very loyal to this NARS All Day Luminous Foundation. This is more of a full coverage foundation, but I've been using it for years and I absolutely love it. I actually use it in the shade Trinidad. The Sephora foundation, I use the shade 45P. Today, I think I'm gonna use the Sephora one because the NARS one is a little bit on the darker side. My skin is starting to go into its winter skin, so yeah, I'm getting lighter. So I think I'm gonna use this one today. I'm gonna pump some on the back of my hand like this. I don't like to use too much. I'm just gonna swipe the sides of my face. In contrast to the concealer that I use, the foundation is much darker, so it kind of gives a more natural contour than if I went in with a legitimate bronzer. I don't really like to use bronzers and all that kind of stuff because in person it looks really, you can just see it. I don't like it. So the foundation, I'm just gonna concentrate it on the sides of my face and also like the temples of my forehead. And if I feel like I'm still seeing like little hyperpigmentation spots, I can go in with my concealer again and just keep blending, like building and blending until I feel satisfied with how smooth everything is turning out. I don't really put foundation on my forehead. I kind of just use the remnants of whatever's on my sponge and I tap my forehead. I have combination skin, and so I get oily in my T-zone and then it's like dry on the sides of my face. I don't really feel like my forehead needs a lot of coverage, so just using the remnants is usually enough to blend my entire face together. I also really don't touch my nose at all with a lot of foundation. Maybe again I'll touch it with the remnants of everything, but I don't touch my T-zone with foundation. I know that sounds really weird, but I just don't. I do, however, hit it with powder, which I'm going to do now. Okay, so the powders that I use two different shades of powder. For my under eye setting, I use the NYX Professional Makeup. I use it in the shade Tan. And then for like the sides of my face, the way you saw me do my foundation, I use the CoverGirl True Blend in number 6. I'm gonna go ahead and use this face brush and just hit it with the powder. Look, I'm already hitting pan on this. And I'm gonna go under my eyes with it, just to smooth everything out. I'm gonna go down the sides of my face and anywhere I use the concealer. Okay, next the CoverGirl powder, which I'm also hitting pan on. I'm gonna use this big fluffy powder brush. This is an e.l.f. powder brush. They're super cheap. Everything is really cheap that I like to use. I use a combination of drugstore makeup and makeup that you can get from Sephora. I'm not one of those girlies who's like, everything has to be this brand, or I don't care. I just, I find the stuff that works for me. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I don't use it. I'm going to start with my contouring now. So I don't use any contour kit or anything like that. I literally use this brown shade in this range of colors that I have in a palette full of colors. I do my contour from my brow bone going downwards. I kind of like to build a bridge to my face because I don't really have one. I also do this when I'm cosplaying, if I'm doing like elf characters, which I do a lot. If I know that I'm going out and I'm gonna be taking a lot of pictures and I just want a little bit more definition to my face, this is it. This is what I do. I don't do any cheekbone contouring because I like to keep a really soft look to my face. And I don't really have like predominant cheekbones. I've always had a really rounded baby face. Back when I used to do this makeup, it used to be called living doll style or like living doll makeup. The biggest point of the style was basically to look as effortless as possible, a Barbie doll straight out of the box. But a lot of the popular dolls were basically white women, and there were no popular Asian influencers or Black influencers that were part of that style at the time. It was a really big Harajuku fashion trend, and because of that, there wasn't really tutorials for people who look like me, and it was a little bit of a weird time. Lots of anti-Blackness. But what I took away from the style was that it was basically just perfecting the way that you look to the best of your ability, making your features look as dolly as possible. And so that's what I did, and I figured it out. That's pretty much it for my contouring right now. I'm not doing anything else. This is also going to set up the base to us jumping into the eyes, which I'm sure you guys were waiting for. If you noticed, I didn't use any concealer or foundation on the upper parts of my eyes, and that's because I wanted to keep them dark because it helps to bring depth to your eyes and it just makes them look even bigger and wider, and I'm gonna show you what I mean. I'm gonna use the same brown that I was using before. This is a flathead brush. My eyes are very hooded, so I go above the area where you see my eyes crease. I'm going to deepen the eye sockets even more. This just makes it look like your eyes are painfully huge. And I really build this up because I want it to be seen. It's basically making a new crease on your eye, like a cut crease, but not really because we're not doing any of that like foundation onto the eye and all that kind of stuff. We're literally just making a new crease. Can you already see what it's kind of doing to my eye? It's making it look longer than it actually is. So sometimes I like to do a whole eyeshadow look where I'll use coppers, kind of neutral tones, gold, champagne colors. Other times, if I want to be extremely natural with it and I don't want to overdo it, sorry, it's just like, you don't want to overdo it. I think I'm kind of past that. If I really want to make it seamless, especially in photos, I will actually just use my blush. I'll do my blush as I typically do, and then whatever's remaining on my blush brush, I will just swipe it over my eyelids, and it makes it look really, really gentle, and it just gives you really soft eyes. I feel like that's what I want to do today, so I'm gonna show you. This is kind of dirty, sorry. But this is the CoverGirl True Blend blush in the shade So Flush. It is a coral or orange colored blush. Orange colored blushes look amazing on brown skin. If you don't own an orange blush, I totally recommend it over pinks and purple blushes. This makes your skin look so glowy and so beautiful. I'm using this blush brush from e.l.f. There's a couple different ways you can do your blush. If you want your face to look really snatched, you can go upwards, like following your cheekbone. For me, I want my face to look soft, so I'm actually gonna go a little bit lower with it. I hit the apple of my cheek and then I kind of do the side of my face, and it gives your face like a rounder look than if I were to go upwards with the blush. Placement is key with this style, it really is. It can change the entire shape of your face. Some people like to do their nose. I don't really like to do that. I do my chin sometimes. It just makes your face look a little bit more warm, and then whatever's left over goes over the eyes. If you do feel like you're seeing harsh lines anywhere on your face, you can always use your blending sponge that you use for your foundation and just tap along the areas that you feel are rough, and it should blend it out for you. Moving on. I'm going in with this eyeliner pencil. I use my sponge, pull my eye down just a little bit, and I'm gonna go above, basically on my waterline, with this white all the way into the tear duct. One done. Can you see the difference already? It looks so much brighter. Trying not to poke my eye out. And I'm also gonna drag it a bit out of my eye. It makes your eyes look longer, just a little bit, and it makes them look bigger. Do you see how the shape changed? Look at that. It's all an illusion. It's not Photoshop, it's just an illusion. Lots of cosplayers do this kind of makeup. This is not new to us. Okay, so moving on from the white, we're going to do the black eyeliner. I use two different kinds of eyeliners. This one is just a generic one from the beauty supply. And this one I just started using. This is the Kat Von D. I got a sample of this and I actually really like it. It has a really thin point to it and it makes it really easy to draw. So I'm just gonna start from the corner, bring it all the way in. Where it counts is at the end of your eye. Elongate it. We're going well past our eyes and go a little bit underneath it and make it look like it's part of my eye. Like I'm just lining around my eye. That's literally it. Do you see how it makes my eyes look? Okay, this is what we're looking like. And before we jump into lashes, I actually want to swipe with this highlighting stick. If you don't have a highlighting stick, you can always just use like a champagne colored eyeshadow, which should do the same thing. And I'm just going to swipe my under eye with it and my inner corners with it. It just brightens up your eyes that much more. Now we can move on to lashes. These are the eyelashes that I use. I actually get them off of AliExpress. The whole pack of these is like less than $1. I'm not even joking. I'm gonna link them down below. Two things to this that are crucial. You need to wait for it to get tacky and you also need to apply them towards the end of your eyes. You see how I drew the tail a lot longer than where my eye actually is? That's exactly where you're gonna wanna place the eyelash because it's going to then bring everything together and really seal that illusion that your eyes are really that big, that your lashes are going all the way out there. Yeah, we got it. The area that doesn't have any eyelash, like any of the eyelash band, is where you're just gonna wanna fill it in with whatever mascara you choose. I'm using this Man Eater mascara by Tarte with a lot of it because you want them to look just as long and luscious as your top lashes do. Okay, so for the most part, our eyes are done. Now what I'm gonna do is highlight using this Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, and I'm using this really shiny, it's so sparkly. And I know you're probably thinking, I know you're not gonna leave that white like that. I'm not. I'm actually gonna go ahead and blend it a little bit first. See how it just brightened the corner of my eyes? And then I'm gonna set it with that luscious color. Really don't need a lot of this. It's seriously pigmented. My eyes just setting that highlight. I'm also gonna put it on the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose as well. My Cupid's bow. There we go. That is it. You can shape your eyebrows if you like. I don't really do much but brush them to fluff them up. And then on my lips, I'm gonna use Revolution and Bratz collaboration that they dropped like last winter. This was their lip vault. I'm gonna use this shimmery pink lip gloss. This is one of Jade's shades. I love it so much. Spray, I'm gonna use this e.l.f. Cosmetics setting spray and just go to town. Okay, now let me fix my hair and then I'll come back for the final results. This is the final look. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys who requested it. I hope all my alt and core and aesthetic girls I hope this helped you. I can't believe that in the year 2022 people are actually interested in living doll style. This style was one that I used to wear religiously to school all the time, and I used to do this makeup in like 15 minutes. It's kind of weird wearing it again because it's so out of my comfort zone now. I'm very much a minimalist and this is very much a maximalist kind of look. Like I keep looking at myself in the viewfinder and I'm like, yikes. But anyways, if you guys have any more questions about anything that I use in this video, you can always leave a comment down below. Again, I'm gonna leave the links to everything that I've used down in the description box. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you for watching and I'll see you guys next week.